How do you deal with people who don't agree with you?
They're stupid. They're stupid and they're dumb. If you're watching this, you're stupid. No. You have to take time. You can't be arrogant, People learn at different levels. People experience and engage at different levels. And I've got to be a big boy. Some of this stuff, you can laugh at. Some of you really can't laugh at. Some people laugh because it's nervous. Some people laugh because they don't know what the hell I'm talking about because it's a new concept.
Right.
They find themselves in a new space. You ever walk in a new space and you just like, who in the hell are these people? Like, years ago, I walked into the wrong funeral, It's sort of like walking into the wrong funeral. I'm like, Jesus, I thought Jimmy was black. God dang. I'm sitting up here, and I don't want to go, hey, everybody, I'm in the wrong funeral. I was looking for a black guy. I couldn't do that. I'm like, hey, Margie looked so peaceful, Did she lose weight? You know what I'm saying? There's no easy way out. Sometimes comedy and information are the same. I'm not saying, walk into the wrong funeral, but they figured it out because I had the card and it was listed to Jimmy and it was a dead white old lady. And they were like, hey, I was like, Jimmy's supposed to be here. But I think that was, that's the scope. But sometimes you have to just roll with the flow.
Right. Do you ever have it where people don't laugh at your jokes? And when they don't laugh at your jokes, what do you do?
Like I said, commence immediately to racial epithets because you want to bring them back. You know what? Sometimes it's like you have to enjoy the space. You got to enjoy the moment. This is one of the type of tours where you have to enjoy the moment. It's not built on the comedian. It's built on your experience and level of engagement with the ideas. I'm just a messenger, And sometimes you'll look back and go, man, I thought about that. That was crazy. Like I was coming in on a plane and I was profiling this guy on my road because he was African after the attempted thing. And I'm just trying to make sure he wasn't Nigerian because I was getting nervous. And I'm keeping an eye on him because I want to save all of us, And I had to profile because you got to stay in practice. And it was interesting. He woke up. You know how people wake up out of a sleep? And we were flying in Iceland. He wakes up. He's like, looks out of the window. He goes, oh, my God, is that snow? I'm like, nah, dude, that's white people. We're in Iceland. Pay attention. But, it's just sometimes you have to trust people to trust themselves. And I think that's the scope of what I do as a comedian, an entertainer, and,
right.
Understanding transitions, and how people get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And hopefully the humor helps them.
Yeah, that's true. That's cool. Well, you've achieved a lot in the comedy scene. You're going on this big tour. You said you started out wanting to do it for 3 years, and now you've been doing it for 15 years. Now that you look back, how far you've come, and how big your shows are and stuff, how does it feel that you've spread the word across and it's so big?
Hey, you're only as good as your last show. And that's not my job. I don't have time to assess that. If you are a teacher, because my core competencies, if you will, you can just say I'm a funny teacher. When you teach, you can't get attached to this idea that has to be progress right away. When you see it, you have to see yourself as part of a process. Meaning that, if it was a reading issue over here, if a person read at a first grade level, you come back 2 years later, hopefully they're reading at a third grade level, and it's the progression. And you have to be smart enough to get out of the way.
Right.
Absolutely. So, like I said, the proof in the pudding is in this experience and the growth and development of the people around you. And, there's no self-gratification. You can have a show where you do 1,000 people in colleges, then you have a show where it's like 5, and what do you do with that 5? You do your job.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Have you ever had someone throw something at you?
That was years ago. I was working a biker bar, and I wasn't a cup of tea. And that was when I was young, and I basically insulted all of the bikers in the bar, and I ran off stage. The guy was like, I'm going to get you when you come off stage. And I thought they were coming to get me. They sent like this big black biker back. He was like 6'8", and I remember just being terrified because I knew I couldn't take him, you know. And I knew I couldn't take him, so I figured I might as well insult this guy, you know, before he hurts me. Because he was too tall to hit, and he was like 6'8". You don't want to look sissy jumping up to punch a guy. And I remember it because I talked about him. I talked about his mom. I was really horrible. And then he goes, "Calm down, little fella." He says, "I'm just here to make sure you get back to your hotel safely."
Oh, that's cool.
And then I hugged him. "Thank you." I was like, I just want to be inconvenient. Nobody like. I said, "You understand me?" He's like, "Look, little man, let's go."
That's funny. Well, thank you so much for coming back
Thank
for
you.
the second time.
All right, deja vu.
Yeah, and thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to watch us next week, same time, same place, for another episode of Conversations.
I can see that.
Have a great day.
There it is. It's the